I just wanted to do a little catch up with me, bring you guys up to date with what's been going on here in the world of Cass. We are settling in nicely to the new home. As I mentioned previously multiple times, well, maybe multiple times, we made a major change, moved across country for hubby's job. He was able to start working immediately, obviously, because it was a transfer. We live in the mountains, so that's taken some getting used to. And because of the economy being ish right now, so many people being laid off, you know, you've heard. I'm not even going to go into all of that. But it took a little while for me to even get interviews, start getting interviews. Part of that was because we're so far up in the mountains, we were unable to get any kind of service here except for like one of the satellite services offered something that wouldn't have been able to really, could barely handle Wi-Fi calling, let alone try to apply for jobs. They offer no cable, like Frontier, Spectrum was another major one, Verizon, none of those are, T-Mobile, none of those are available where I am. So when I say I am in the mountains and that I'm rural, I mean I am out there, which I'm loving the quiet life. We actually had a raccoon steal one of our bird feeders, but I'll go into that later. So I'm loving the rural life, but one thing I don't love about this life is the fact that it took us 2.5, almost 3 weeks for us to get internet, because we had to order the Starlink, wait for them to finally send it, and then had to wait for them to come and install it. Since we've gotten it up, it works great. So maybe that's perhaps because of where I am in the US, but we have had no problems with it since we've had it installed. But because it took so long for us to get that installed, that kind of delayed me being able to find work. Which, as you know, in order to be able to pay bills in the way this society is set up, you need a job. So I finally got employment at the beginning of this month. The job is going well. Really no complaints. It's just when you kind of have your heart set on working from home and then you're not working from home and then you have to drive a half an hour, 45 minutes in the mountains in the snow. Yes, because I am one of those places that got hit with the heavy snow. It's not fun. I've had to buy snow tires for the first time ever in my life, and I've lived all over the US. But I've got studded tires in my car right now. So part of that is because of the fact that I'm in the mountains. So, you know, that's the price you pay for your peace and quiet, mainly your peace. So things are going well, finally, on that front. So we kept hearing that we live near deer. I heard that the whole time that I lived in the South. Never saw not one deer the entire time that I was in the state that is shaped like a penis. I mean, like a male's appendage. If you know, you know. If not, go look at a map of the US. You know which one I'm talking about. They swore up and down that there was deer in that state. People would go hunting for deer in that state. I never saw not one deer the whole time I lived there. I have seen more deer here than I have anywhere else that I've lived here in the US. Which is saying a lot because I'm old and I've lived a lot of places. We are surrounded by deer. To the point to where we've had to put nets on our bushes. Well, we don't have a wildlife cam. I want to get a wildlife cam. because I would love to capture what is going on in our backyard. When I looked out yesterday after I got home from work, there were so many tracks, none of them human, in the snow in our backyard. And I know I'm rural. I know I live in the mountains. For some reason, it just never connected with me that would, I mean, you know, people say it, but like I said, I lived in friggin' all over the place, and everybody always said there was deer, there was this, there was that, and I just never saw it. So I figured it was the same thing here. Nope, they weren't lying. I feel bad for all the poor little animals on the road because I see roadkill every morning on my way into work. But yeah, it's a nice, quiet little life. It's so dark and peaceful. It is so wonderful and freeing to me to be able to look out my back window and to see stars and to see the moon, and it's not clouded by all of the city lights and that kind of thing. So, speaking about our bird feeders, we decided to put bird feeders up because we have them in our yard. We have holly bushes. We're still getting the birds because we have holly bushes. We decided to try and supplement that a little bit, and to also have something for the cats to be able to see, like to provide cat TV for them, if you will. Which has been going wonderfully because they are loving it. They sit in our windows all day and just look outside. So this move was, even if it wasn't beneficial for the people, which it has been, it would have been worth it just to see them brighten up and to see their lives enhanced. But I digress. We put up bird feeders, trying to feed our birdie friends. And it got cold. We got snow. I mean, I see a track in the snow. I'm like, that doesn't look like a cat, because that's the only thing we had seen. So I sent it to my hubby, and I said, hey, what kind of track do you think this is? He's like, oh, I think that's a cat. And I'm like, no, because look at the nails. The nails don't say cat. And he's like, you're right. But then I realized I hadn't been hearing our birdie friends up at the front window. As we're coming home from running errands, I happen to glance up and I see that there's no food in the bird feeder. It's been opened. The food cake is gone. And the second bird feeder is gone. Ripped off of the hook. Hook is gone. Bird feeder is gone. And I was like, what in the bleep, 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 bleep. I think it was a raccoon print that I saw that morning when I was like, this is weird. So he's now decided to order a bird feeder that's supposed to be raccoon and squirrel proof. Like, I personally just thought it was kind of funny, but he was a little angry about the fact that now our birds have not been able to eat over the past week because of the raccoon. He was like, we can't be feeding the raccoons and stuff like, and the possums and stuff. And I just kind of looked at him. Y'all already know what was going through my mind, right? We gonna be feeding the raccoons and the possums, because look, it's not that important to me. I'm not that stressed on, like, is the birdie friends getting food? Yes. Am I gonna be mad if the raccoon friends and the possum friends and the squirrel friends are getting food as well? No, it's not that serious to me. Look, and as far as I'm concerned, my fairy friends can get some food too, because look, all I'm gonna say is stuff has been disappearing in my house and then reappearing. If you know, you know. Anyway, so that's how things have been going at the house. Things have been going good at the job. So I know you guys can hear how congested I am sounding right now. I think I just tried to cough up a lung on my way into work, so this is not going to bode well for the rest of my day. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up so that I don't continue to try and choke on air or whatever's going on here with my sinuses. I am going to get something recorded about inner child healing, hopefully this weekend. My plan is to be a little more consistent with getting stuff uploaded, recorded, and uploaded to you guys. So, so until I win the lottery, you know, it will be on a. I'm going to try and be as consistent as I can. So my plan is to, especially for the upcoming year, we are going to be more consistent than what we have been. I'm going to have a schedule planned out, and we will start uploading videos on the regular to both channels, as well as to, well, not both channels, but both platforms, as well as Instagram. So, which is kind of funny because Instagram is actually the easiest to do because you just upload a picture if that's what you're doing. But even with that right now, y'all, I was just so focused on trying to make sure that I would be okay as far as bills and stuff was concerned. So, I mean, you guys know you guys know. So, but yes, consistency is key. That is what the energy that we're taking with us into 2026. So, if you do not hear from me before Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas, holiday season, Hanukkah, I don't know, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. I know there's a lot of holidays around this time of year. Whatever you celebrate, I pray that you have a safe holiday. I pray that many blessings come to you. And I pray for all of us to have a healthy, happy, abundant, optimal 2026. All right, I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye.